Hello, Mark Satterfield here. Thanks so much for joining me. It's often been said that giving a speech in public is like one of the top three fears that people have. So if you fall in that category, today's blog isn't going to be particularly helpful. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, public speaking is something that lots of people really enjoy. And it is kind of a tried and true way of getting yourself out there, building your brand, building your visibility. And especially now that we are having more live in-person events taking place, you may want to think about public speaking as a tool for increasing your visibility. So there's a number of things that go into whether this will work well for you. I think first and foremost, you have to develop your own style, your own comfort level, and I talk about some of the tips and tactics and ideas that people have used over the years that hopefully you'll find helpful. The other part, of course, is you naturally have to have a topic, and it can't just be I want to talk about what I do. You really need the big idea. There needs to be something that has a hook to it that the person who will book you will find interesting. So how do we create that hook? How do we create that interest about what you might want to talk about? Well, again, I've got some great ideas in today's blog. So I've done a lot of public speaking over the years. For me, it's kind of been hit and miss. Sometimes it's generated a lot of interest. Other times it's just completely blown up. And the one lesson I would share with you is what's called your authentic voice. You really need to develop your authentic voice, your own way of communicating. Every time that I've tried to emulate someone else, I've seen somebody give a presentation and I've said, hey, that really is, working well for that person. And I've tried to copy that. The results have been disastrous. In one particular case, I emulated a speaker who will remain nameless, and I went out a couple weeks later and tried to incorporate his methodology into my speech. And I remember one piece of feedback I got from one lady who said, quote unquote, I loathed your presentation. So at that point in time, that was when the light went on, and I said that, that's not my authentic voice. What I really need to do is to develop my own. So yeah, you can pick up a lot of good speaking tips and ideas by watching other professional speakers, but ultimately it comes down to creating a speaking persona that resonates with who you are as an individual. And I talk more about that in today's blog. So I think this subject will be helpful to some of you, probably not the proverbial cup of jasmine tea for others, but in my goal of being as comprehensive as I possibly can to you in your quest to attract more wealthy clients, I did want to cover this base. And as always, if you are focused on the affluent market and you have a reasonable budget for marketing, perhaps we should talk. And there's a button at the bottom of this page that will facilitate that. But regardless, I do want to thank you for being a part of my community. It means the world to me. And until we do have a chance to speak personally, this is Mark Satterfield. Bye for now.